Okay, so we recorded this yesterday, but the audio didn't work, so we got to do it again. So we're still dividing radical expressions. Now we're just going to see how sometimes it doesn't quite work out as easily as it did yesterday. So we have xy squared minus 5xy. I want to factor that out best I can, so they both have an xy. I'm left with y on the left minus 5 on the right. On the bottom, this is already factored, so we have 5 plus y and 5 minus y. So what probably stands out to you is we have y minus 5 and 5 minus y, which are very similar, but they're flipped around. So we can't cancel this out the way it stands, but we can factor something out, and then we can cancel it out. So there's a property for this, and it says that a minus b is equal to negative 1 times b minus a. Right, so all we have to do is if we factor out a negative 1, we can flip the order around of any of our terms here. So I'm going to take my top term, we're going to say xy, and then instead of y minus 5, I'm going to say this is times negative 1 to 5 minus y, all over 5 plus y, 5 minus y. Okay, so now we have two terms that cancel out, these 5 minus y's. I can rewrite this a little bit prettier, so this can be negative 1 times xy, or just negative xy, over 5 plus y. And then this becomes our answer. Okay, so you don't need this all the time, but if you're in a situation where you have the same two values, right, but opposite signs, so like this one was positive y, negative 5, and on the bottom you have positive 5, negative y. If you factor out a negative 1, then you can cancel them out. Okay, so we can also say, like a corollary to this property here, is that if you have a minus b over b minus a, that will always simplify to just negative 1, right? Because these, we knew we were going to factor these out, and then what did we gain? Was this negative 1 up top. Okay, let's try one more. Don't look at my answer. There it goes. Okay, so same idea here. Factor out what I can, so I can take a z out from the top, and that leaves me x minus 4. And then on the bottom, I can't factor that anymore, so this is z squared times 4 minus x. So again, same thing. We have x minus 4 and 4 minus x. So I can rewrite this as z times negative 1 4 minus x over z squared 4 minus x. Okay, so in this way, these 4 minus x's, they cancel out. I've got z and z squared in the denominator, so my division of exponents rules, this is z to the first. So 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So I would either have z to the negative first power, or I can put z to the positive first power in the denominator. And all we have left up top is just our negative 1. Okay, so this becomes our whole answer. Or you might see it written as negative and then 1 over z. Right? So it doesn't matter where you put your negative sign. You put it in the numerator, you can put it on the outside. Technically, you could put it in the denominator, but you really should never do that. Don't put your negative sign in the denominator. It's not wrong, it just feels wrong. Okay? So you don't use this trick on every single problem. So if you see something and you don't notice this situation, don't freak out. It's just something that you need to be aware of. Okay? So try them out. Let me know how it goes.